Kyiv. You're watching Our Time. We're talking about the main events at this hour. I'm Valery Klemenko in the studio. Welcome. Last night, the Russian army launched a massive attack on the Poltava region with missiles and attack drones. A gas production facility was damaged. When rescuers put out the fire, the occupying forces cynically launched a second strike. As a result of the attack, 4 people were killed, including 2 rescuers. More than 30 people were injured. A 2-day mourning period has been declared in the region. Also, one of the Russian attack drones struck the center of Chernigov. 3 people sought medical assistance. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. An administrative building and several cars were damaged. All necessary services are working at the site of the strike. The city of Dnipro was also attacked by strike drones. A man was seriously injured. Most of the damage occurred in the private sector. Roofs were blown off houses and windows were shattered by the blast wave. Several cars were smashed. Fires broke out in several places. There's also damage on the premises of an enterprise. In the suburbs, the strike hit an infrastructure facility.
I was talking to my friend directly, and then he disappeared. The connection was lost. I texted him, asked him what happened and where he was. And then he called me and said, "My house is on fire." I ran to the window to look, and sure enough, it was completely burning. Everything was in flames. The tree was completely on fire. The roof was totally burning, and everything around it too. The fire was already getting close to the second house, so we were putting that out as well. You could see that the tank from the Shahed was left there and was burning again. Everything smelled like burning plastic.
It was at 10:28 p.m. I heard a Shahed drone flying in. So, what happened next? Oh, of course, we jumped up. We started looking around. The windows were blown out and the doors were jammed. The locks on 2 doors were stuck, so they need to be replaced. The ceiling in the kitchen cracked.
Russian forces attacked the port in Odessa once again. A civilian vessel under the flag of the Cook Islands was damaged. The crew was unharmed. This was reported by the Ukrainian Seaports Authority. Currently, the port is operating with security risks in mind. Specialized services are handling the aftermath. The Russian army continues to attack railway infrastructure. In particular, strikes have been recorded in the Kharkiv, Poltava, and Dnipropetrovsk regions. This was reported by Alexei Kuleba, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Restoration, and Minister for Communities and Territories Development of Ukraine. He emphasized that no people were injured. At present, the railway is operational. Train service continues. Over the past night, the Russian army launched 11 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and 164 drones of various types at Ukraine. Ukrainian defense forces shot down or suppressed 149 drones and 1 missile. Ukraine will respond in kind. This is how President Volodymyr Zelensky reacted to the overnight attacks. The president emphasized that Russia is showing absolute cynicism by simultaneously calling for a ceasefire and continuing to carry out such missile and drone strikes. Let me remind you, on May 6th, Ukraine declared a ceasefire in response to Russia's statement. Volodymyr Zelensky reported this the day before. After all, according to the president, human lives are an incomparably greater value than celebrating any anniversary. The Ukrainian leader also added that Kiev has not received any official requests to cease hostilities, as claimed in Russian social media. The ceasefire initiative proposed by the president of Ukraine is a serious offer to end the war and move toward diplomacy. Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs wrote about this on X. Andriy Sybiha emphasized that the world can't wait for parades. And it is precisely May 6th that will show what Russia really wants.
This is a serious proposal to end the war and move toward diplomacy. I ask all our partners, all peace-loving countries, and all headquarters of international organizations to support this call for a ceasefire. May 6th will show how serious Moscow's intentions are and what it truly wants, peace or military parades. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social network X.
Meanwhile, Russian troops are suffering massive losses. In April alone, the occupying army lost more than 35,000 killed and severely wounded. President Volodymyr Zelensky reported this after a briefing from the Minister of Defense. Ukraine has also quadrupled the number of drone strikes over more than 20 kilometers this spring. And there will be even more. This is a top priority, the president emphasized.
We need to increase the number of robotic missions. In April, more than 10,200 NRC logistical and evacuation tasks were completed. And that's a significant result. But on the scale of the front, much more of this work is needed. Accordingly, contracting with the NRC, as well as production and deliveries to the troops, must constantly increase. May should deliver even higher numbers, and this has been set as the target for the military and the Ministry of Defense. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, on Telegram.
The United States struck 7 Iranian boats after Tehran fired on several vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. This was reported by President Donald Trump. He emphasized that Iran carried out several attacks on other countries as part of Operation Project Freedom, including the South Korean cargo ship. The day before, South Korea's Ministry of Foreign Affairs reported that an explosion occurred and a fire broke out on a ship owned by their company and sailing under the Panamanian flag. There were 24 people on board the vessel. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz condemned Iran's attack on the United Arab Emirates. He stated that Tehran should return to dialogue and abandon nuclear weapons. Merz shared this on the social network X. Let me remind you, the day before, Iran launched missile and drone strikes on the United Arab Emirates for the first time in a month. 10 people injured as a result of Russian shelling remain in hospitals in Dnipro. People came under Russian attack on Sunday. A drone crashed near a gas station. A family in their car and a bus with kids were passing by. More details about the victims' conditions in the report by Natalia Husak.
I didn't understand how it all happened. I didn't hear the explosions. I just felt pain in my back and my leg. I bent over to cover my stomach a little. I open my eyes. I look, and my mom is covered in blood. My aunt, too, all covered in blood.
On the morning of May 3rd, Sophia and her family were driving on the highway 30 kilometers from Dnipro. They live in a frontline village not far from the border with Donetsk region. 20-year-old Sophia is expecting a baby, so they decided to evacuate to a safer place. That day, they were going to look at a new house. Something?
We did find. We wanted to find something, and that's how we found it. We didn't even have time to get scared. We were driving, and then it just exploded. I don't even know what it was.
As they were passing by a gas station, the cars were attacked by a Russian drone. Victor sustained minor injuries. His 2 daughters and granddaughters suffered more serious blast injuries.
Mom got out of the car to pull me out. I said, I can't, my leg hurts. Mom got out of the car to drag me out. I said, I can't, my leg hurts. Somehow we stood up and they laid me down on the ground. Then another one was flying in and she yelled, get up, there's another one. We ran behind the gas station into the grove and there were already kids there.
That day, a bus carrying children was also hit. 40 school children from frontline Zaporizhia were on their way to vacation in the Ivano-Frankivsk region. The teachers who were accompanying them said they stopped at a gas station for a short break. Everyone got out except for one child. He was hit by shards of glass. He's in the hospital now.
It's such a hopeless situation. It shows that the enemy... It's just so senseless now. It shows that the enemy is starting a real hunt for children and women. The entire intensive care unit is filled with civilians. These are people who were injured during the explosion near the gas station, as well as after the missile strike that hit the dormitory.
There are also 4 people in the hospital who were injured as a result of the missile strike on one of the main avenues of Dnipro on the afternoon of May 3rd. All of them are recovering and getting ready to be discharged. As a result of this attack, the upper floors of the dormitory were partially destroyed and more than 10 people were injured. A second-year student was killed. The young man was 19 years old. Natalia Gusuk, Vladimir Stengel, reporting from Dnipro for Freedom TV channel.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.